Hi, I'm Debbie Gioquindo, the Hudson Valley wine goddess, and I'd like to welcome you to Exploring Wine Country. I'm here with Steve Carrizzo, my partner in this endeavor. He's known as the Wine Philosopher. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Debbie. And there is such a large selection of New York State wines here at Mid-Valley. We find ourselves here this morning. And they have wines from every region. There's three major growing regions in New York, and that's the Finger Lakes, the Long Island, and the Hudson Valley. Finger Lakes are mostly known for their white wines, especially Riesling is king up there. In Long Island, it's a warmer climate. It's more like Bordeaux. It's a maritime influence there. And Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon really excel down there. Now, all these regions include other grapes, but those are the ones they're most known for. And the Hudson Valley, which is the oldest growing region in New York and in the country, right, Debbie?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the oldest wine region in New York, or in the country. It's got its start in 1677, and Andrew Cawood established a vineyard in Marlborough, New York, which is the oldest vineyard in America. It's Slate Hill Vineyards, which is located at Benmarl Winery. And then in the Jacques brothers in 1837 established a winery in Washingtonville, mostly for altar wines and sacramental wines, and it became Brotherhood Winery in 1885.
Yeah.
So this is the oldest. The Hudson Valley wine region is the oldest wine region in America.
Yeah,
we are so fortunate to be living in such a great place, and it's the least recognized. It's a hidden treasure of
It really
wine
is.
regions.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the restaurants, too. There's a culinary tradition that follows here, too.
Absolutely, because the Culinary Institute of America is based here in Hyde Park, and a lot of the chefs tend to stay in the area, in the region, and open up fantastic restaurants. So we've got fantastic restaurants paired with fantastic wines from the oldest wine region.
Yeah, and the oldest wineries in the country.
Yeah.
I thought it would be appropriate today to start with a sparkling wine, of course, and one from Brotherhood Winery itself, which is the oldest operating winery in the country. And this is a sparkling wine. It's called Grand Monarch. It's very limited in production. You can buy it at the winery. I know they have it here in Mid-Valley. I don't know too many other places that even sell this wine.
I don't know. Actually, I'm looking really forward to tasting it because I have not tasted that wine.
And another thing that makes me look forward to it so much is it's made with Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Oh, wow.
Two of the grapes really used in Champagne from France.
And they're a place up in Hudson, New York.
They have their own vineyard growing Pinot Noir and Chardonnay up there for sparkling wine, which is amazing. And the vineyard does very well because it's on the Hudson River, so it's influenced by the maritime climates of the river, and it keeps it more, no extremes in the temperatures in the winter, the summer. Another thing about this, it's made Méthode Champenoise. Very expensive method that they make sparkling wine in Champagne, France itself. And it's Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, which are the grapes used in French Champagne too, which is amazing. In France, they also have a third grape called Pinot Meunier, which is the workhorse grape there. But with their top champagnes, they only include Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, and that's what Brotherhood did too. So I'm dying to try this.
Let's go. Go ahead. You
Another
do the
thing,
honors.
while I'm opening this, thank you, Debbie. While I'm opening this bottle, I'll tell you too, in the method of making champagne, the Méthode Champenoise, they leave it on its lees. So after the second fermentation.
Can you explain what the leaves are?
Yeah, that's what is left in the wine. After they press the grapes, there's a lot of like little pieces of must floating around.
Sediment type stuff?
Yeah, exactly. And they leave it on there. And what that does is it imparts into the wine more flavor and complexity. And after the second fermentation, the yeast, to start the second fermentation, they add a dosage, which is usually sugar and water or brandy and water, something with sugar in it to start the second fermentation. And when the yeast are breaking down, they actually have byproducts of it. It's almost like the waste product of the yeast. And that breaks down, and in champagne, they leave it on the side of the bottle. They leave it on an angle like this, rather, and they have riddlers. They call it riddling. These men are trained for years to do it by hand, to riddle each. So it stirs it up, and the yeast all settle to the bottom, Later, they remove them, and you have clean, pure wine.
Now you realize this is going to go all over the place because you took the bottle.
It could be. I know. I took a chance there, but that's exciting. But the other thing is the part of leaving it on the lees is very important. With the top, like luxury cuvées of France, they leave it on the lees 2 years, 3 years, up to 10 years.
Okay.
By law, they have to leave it at least 15 months. Brotherhood left us 2 years, which is pretty impressive. That's a long time. So let's start opening this. Now, for opening champagne, most people know, you hold the cork and you twist the bottle. And you let it release very slowly. Voila. Whoa. We had to have a little of the dramatic.
Right.
There you go. No day is complete without champagne.
And that's the start of our first show with the bang.
There you go. Now, this is mostly Chardonnay.
Nice.
I spoke with the winemaker, Mark Burrows, yesterday. And he said, it's mostly Chardonnay with some Pinot Noir in it.
Oh, this smells wonderful.
Wow. Nice.
Yes.
The carbonation, the color is brilliant. Gold, nice. Carbonation is active.
Yeah.
It's there. It follows streams.
Straight
it's
up.
just not all over the place,
That's
which the experts look for.
This just is incredible.
On the nose, I'm getting a lot of again, creaminess from the Chardonnay grape.
A lot of the Chardonnay grape. It really stands out.
I can see why. Even if he didn't tell me last night it was mostly Chardonnay, we would have figured it out.
Just one whiff and I could just smell the Chardonnay.
And it's got a little bit of a yeastiness of a traditional champagne from Champagne, France.
Oh, great balance.
Oh my God,
Fantastic
this is surprising me. And it coats the palate.
Yeah.
It's got a creamy silkiness to it.
And it's just smooth. It just everything about it is.
This is very balanced. And I'm noticing too, it starts off clean on the palate, fresh, yet it has some weight to it. It's not a wimpy sparkling wine at all.
It's not too dry. It's
That's
not too
what people will love about this. No tartness.
That's right.
More on the drier side.
It's more on the drier side. It's not going to make you pucker like the really dry champagnes. It's not sweet. It's perfectly balanced.
And the texture on your palate, it coats the palate and is very smooth.
And even the bubbles.
Creamy.
Like a lot of times we'll drink champagne and the bubbles take over, the carbonation takes over. It doesn't take over in this. It's wonderful.
Because we do have a long way to go
That's right.
today, right? Just in case.
Better figure out that's fifth bucket.
But this wine is
incredible.
incredible.
I'm not a big champagne drinker either, so.
And this, compared to champagne, made in the same way with the same grapes, this is $28.99 here at Mid Valley. And most champagnes, as you know, are in the 40s and 50s now for non-vintage cuvées. And then when you go into the luxury champagnes themselves, they're into the hundreds of dollars.
And this is produced, grown, made, everything in the Hudson Valley. So just want to let you know you don't have to purchase, a French champagne to think that you're getting, this wonderful champagne. Here in the Hudson Valley, we do have wonderful products. And this is proof.
This is some way to start today, I'll tell you that.
Cheers.
Cheers.